1,000 of us trained from all over the United States, and every one of us was a volunteer to be trained as a pilot. And we have a camaraderie, brotherhood feeling, because we all experienced segregation because of the color of our skin, and that bonded us together. And we think that that is one of the reasons why we received the Congressional Gold Medal of Honor. And we received this in 2007, and for the exploits in Italy. Now, there were 1,000 of us trained. 450 were sent to Italy as fighter pilots, and 560 stayed and were trained as bomber pilots. Personally, I was trained as a bomber pilot first, and then I became a fighter pilot when the fighter guys came back. I love flying in the Air Force so much that I stayed in for 24 years. And I'm a retired Air Force major, 24 years, and I have over 10,000 flying hours. I'm a command pilot with that wreath around it, and I've flown, I'd say, 12 different types of Air Force planes. Why did you become a pilot, and why did you keep trying when you met so many difficulties? And of course you can say, well, we were loyal, we were young Americans, we wanted to defend our country just like everyone else. Well, first of all, I'm surprised at the number of kids that I meet that have seen the movie about us, and they know about us, although we're not included in the history books. Hey, I'd like to tell you, you ask about young people. When I retired, I was a director of the United States Peace Corps in East Africa for 5 years.
Oh, fascinating.
Oh, yes, in a country, the Royal Kingdom of Swaziland. And I said, in my spare time, I'm going to teach as many African kids as I can about airplanes. And I would start off why airplanes fly, how they fly. And I did that for 5 years. And when I left Swaziland, I had an exit audience with the king. And the king, I spoke to him in Zulu. I learned Zulu. Sao bonum kosan jani nikonan jani wena yebo likoko in Kuala. So I spoke with the king, and the king was so impressed, he made me an honorary citizen of Swaziland.
You mentioned to me that your son had a flying lesson from you when he was 12 years old.
He was 12.
What did he accomplish?
Well, he's now a commercial pilot, a Czech airman for American Airlines, and he's been the supervisor of American Airlines 777 fleet. I got a chance to be with him when he flew the Band of Brothers back to Europe for their 57th anniversary.
Amazing.
And I got a chance to fly over there with him. I let kids know, first of all, they need a dream. And hopefully their dream is about aviation. And whatever your dream is, you've got to work and stay with it to make it come true. And you have to have the self-discipline to stay with the dream, because there's so many distractions out there. You know, television, iPods, ePods, these things in their ear, these things that all these distractions are out there. And if you want to make your dream real, you've got to have the self-discipline to ignore all that static out there and concentrate, focus on what it is that you want your dream to be. Well, I saw a colored air circus when I was about 6 years old. There were a group of black people, they called themselves the Blackbirds. They went around the country putting on air shows. And in 1931 in Mansfield, Ohio, with my father went out to a field, a farm or somewhere, and I see these things up in the sky like birds. And they're going around up and down and around clouds. Then they come down and they land, and people get out of them. And for a 5 or 6 year old kid, man, that was a fantastic thing. So since then, I wanted to fly an airplane. And fortunately, I got a chance to get into the Air Corps and, you know, successful getting through the flight school. And this airplane in back of me, the AT-6, was our advanced trainer. And once you, you know, finish that, when you got your wings, and Army pilot. Keep your mind on what it is that you want to do. There are always going to be distractions. There's always the fear of war and that kind of thing. But if you want to fly, enjoy the experience of flying, just keep your mind on flying and what that can be for you. Mm-hmm. Well, thank you.